boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce right now. Get a sprinkle up my style. I'm about to lock down. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I would never ever fall. I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh yeah, yeah.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Watson on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Black 22! Black 22!
On second down, here's Watson. This complete to Lockett. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jensen. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jensen buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without it within this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when he left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Throwing on 1st down. Jensen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Here's Watson. And he's got it. Across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead grows to 10-0. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Off the play fake. Jensen being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Looking to throw. Jensen. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Green 39. Gone, 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 gone.
On first down, Jensen. And he rifles one incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And now it's second down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incomplete. On 15 before they drop him. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. Plenty of scoring here already. We're back to Santa Clara after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
On 1st and 10, Jensen firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Leopard! Leopard!
Foster on second down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd and 2, Jensen. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Green the line! Green the line!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 3rd down, Watson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll start on the ground with Foster. Oh, a nice spin. A second time. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
To throw on 2nd down. Jensen throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Nelson's got it here right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw. Jensen. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
1st and goal, Foster. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. The quick slant caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue lining.
Looking to throw. Jensen. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball.
The ball is out. Watson lost it. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be partner. He just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now, Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. With another return now, here's Westbrook. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Here we go.
A give. This is Foster. Found a little room there as he's out to about the 37. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll go again with Foster. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to throw. Jensen in the middle of the field. He's got Nelson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's go. Green, 39.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
A first down carry for Foster. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Gone!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jensen escaping the pressure right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Nelson. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. J.J. Nelson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
To throw on second is Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Taylor. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there at 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he spins past him and into space. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll hand off to Foster. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now let's go.
Off play action. Jensen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Jensen. Wide open receiver complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. J.J. Nelson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Back to throw. Jensen, that's caught. And he will get into the end zone, but there is a flag down. This one may be coming back.
Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Watson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Flushed out right. And now running right through it. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going up top for Kupp. And no, it's incomplete. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And this still stopped. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They keep it in the hands of Foster. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go. 3:19.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Gone. Set. Green.
Off the play fake. Jensen uncorks one for Davis. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On the counter, it's Foster, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. To throw on 2nd down, Jensen. And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jensen. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, Are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Watson now looking to throw on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Third and long, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Lets it go for Nelson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Hey. 4 down.
After the interception, here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him. And his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Here's Watson. Jadeveon Clowney tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a first down throw, Watson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He's going to let it fly. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving that rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy.